There's a certain thrill in watching someone's grand scheme implode, their face frozen in shock, like a deer caught in headlights. I never thought locking my backyard pool would spark a 911 call, a neighborhood conspiracy, and a showdown that'd leave everyone talking. But I underestimated just how unhinged my HOA could get, or rather, one woman in particular, Linda Harper. Welcome to Willow Creek, a quiet suburb in Raleigh, North Carolina, where the drama runs hotter than a summer asphalt road. I'm Nathan Brooks, the local fire marshal, dad to a sarcastic 16-year-old, and the guy who owns the only private pool on our street that doesn't look like a frog pond. My job's all about rules, fire codes, inspections, and paperwork that could bury a small town. But none of that mattered to Linda, our neighborhood's self-appointed queen. Picture her. Perfect nails, a yappy terrier named Liberty, and a knack for sticking her nose where it doesn't belong, like a moth to a porch light. She patrolled our cul-de-sac like it was her personal fiefdom, even though my house sits just outside the HOA's reach, a fact she conveniently ignored. It all kicked off one muggy June afternoon. I got home from a grueling warehouse inspection, my boots still dusty, to find my son, Tyler, sprawled at the kitchen counter, soaked from head to toe, glaring at his phone. "She locked the gate," he muttered. I froze. "Who locked what?" "Linda," he said, rolling his eyes. "She marched in while I was swimming with Matt and Chris, said we were misusing community assets, and slapped a padlock on the gate." I blinked, trying to wrap my head around it. Linda had waltzed into my backyard, my private property, and locked my pool shut with a cheap hardware store lock. Let me back up. 5 years ago, I built that pool myself, every permit filed, every safety feature triple-checked. The city even gave me a pat on the back for exceeding code. It's my pride and joy, a sparkling oasis Tyler's friends flock to every summer. I keep it open for the kids, no fees, just a don't be a moron rule and a sign-in sheet by the patio. But Linda? She saw it as her personal crusade. I grabbed bolt cutters, snipped the lock, and let the boys back in, but something fell off. That night, I noticed the pool's motion lights weren't working. The pump was silent too. I checked the breakers fine, reset the timers, swapped the fuse, even tested the voltage. Nothing. It was like the backyard had been unplugged. I'm not just a dad with a toolbox. I'm a fire marshal. I don't mess around with electrical hazards. Tracing the wires, I found the problem, a junction box by the fence, right where my property meets the HOA's community garden, was wide open. The cables? Sliced clean through. This wasn't a glitch, it was sabotage. The next morning, I knocked on Linda's door, a coffee in hand to keep things civil. She answered in a neon tracksuit, her terrier snarling at my ankles. "Morning, Linda," I said, keeping my cool. "Know anything about someone messing with my backyard wiring?" Her eyes flicked sideways. "Why would I? I don't snoop in everyone's business." I raised an eyebrow. "Right. Except you locked my gate and told my kid he's a lawbreaker." She huffed. "I was protecting the kids. That pool's a public hazard, and community resources follow HOA rules." I leaned in. "It's my pool, Linda. It's private, exempt from your HOA, and someone cut my safety system's power. That's a crime." She crossed her arms. "You can't just lock people out. It's unfair." I walked away before I said something I'd regret. 2 hours later, sirens shattered the quiet police, fire, EMS, roaring into the street like we were ground zero for a disaster. I stepped outside to see Linda flailing her arms, shouting, "There's a kid trapped. He's locked the pool." The responders froze when they saw me, fire marshal badge on my shirt, standing calmly in my yard. "Brooks," Officer Daniels asked, "you called this in?" Linda jumped in. "No, I did. He's got kids stuck behind an electric fence." I didn't argue. I just showed Daniels my phone-live pool cam footage of Tyler chilling with a soda, headphones on. No trapped kids, no fence, just a teenager VYing his best life. Daniels turned to Linda. "Ma'am, 911 isn't for neighbor spats. That's a finable offense." Linda's face went cherry red, but I knew this was just round one. The next day, I found a letter taped to my mailbox, HOA letterhead and all, accusing me of non-compliant pool structures and obstructing shared amenities. It was nonsense to me. House isn't even under HOA jurisdiction. I checked the zoning maps before buying. My lot was carved out before the HOA existed. But Linda didn't care about facts. She cared about control. I called my deputy, Jenna, a fire investigator with a sharp tongue and zero patience for HOA nonsense. She's citing you for locking your own pool. Jenna snorted. What's next? Fining you for mowing your lawn. Worse, I said. Someone's cutting my wires. I think it's her. Jenna showed up that afternoon, tablet in hand, inspecting the damage. Clean cuts, she said, poking at the junction box. This is deliberate. Classic HOA move, break it. Blame you, make you beg to fix it. Things got weirder. I caught a woman, Marjorie, Linda's sidekick, sneaking around my fence with a camera, tripping over herself when I flicked on the floodlights. Then I installed a high-tech pool dome, a prototype I'd tested for a safety program. It's sleek, auto-locks, and looks like something out of sci-fi flick. Within an hour, Linda was screaming down the street. He's built a fortress. It's a safety risk. I was watering my azaleas when she stormed up. I'm calling an HOA emergency meeting, she shrieked. Cool, I said, not looking up. I'll bring the dome's safety certs. I wrote the code for it. Her jaw dropped. That's a conflict of interest. I grinned. No, Linda. That's called being good at my job. But Linda doubled down. My security cams started blacking out at odd hours, 17-minute gaps, always near the dome's control box. Then, one morning, I woke to a burning smell. The dome's panel was trashed, wires melted, casing scorched, grass smoldering. This wasn't petty anymore. It was dangerous. Jenna arrived, gloves on, and confirmed it. Someone shorted the surge line. Without the fail-safe, this could have been a fire. A neighborhood outpost from Linda sealed it. Pool de VYC explodes, with a blurry photo of my fence. She was framing me. At 2:12 a.m., my new tamper alarm blared, floodlights catching a figure at the panel. Greg Thompson, Linda's HOA crony. Night VY sound showed him holding a jammer and a toolkit. I didn't chase him. I had his face on tape. The next day, I walked into Greg's office, a dingy IT consulting firm, and dropped the footage on his desk. 2 hours, I said. Then I file charges: trespassing, tampering, illegal jamming. Greg crumbled. Linda said the dome was illegal, he stammered. She gave me fake HOA docs. I didn't know you had cameras. I left him sweating, with a clear message for Linda. I had proof, and court was next. The jammer stopped. The outages ended. Then state investigators rolled up to the HOA office, tracing the illegal signal to their rooftop. Greg spilled everything, and Linda's protective buffer excuse flopped. The HOA got fined, Linda was ousted, and her name was blacklisted in every safety office in Raleigh. My pool, locked when it needed to be, open for Tyler's friends, humming perfectly. But Linda wasn't done. An anonymous email hit my work inbox, accusing me of weaponizing aquatic tech and abusing my badge. The metadata? Sloppily linked to L. Harper. She'd gone from vandalism to bureaucratic warfare. I forwarded it to Jenna, who cackled. Olympic-level petty, she said. I dug deeper and learned Linda was eyeing a board seat in Pine Ridge, the next subby VY shown over. So, I hosted a fire safety open house by my pool in VY Ting Pine Ridge's HOA. The dome gleamed, kids got fire hats, and I gave a speech on safety. When Pine Ridge's chair asked about Linda, I handed over a folder of her crimes. Linda, lurking in oversized sunglasses, saw it all. She slunk away, deflated, and that was the last I saw of her. The HOA rewrote its less known, more anonymous complaints. I helped upgrade neighborhood safety, from alley lights to emergency contacts. Linda's war was over, but I stayed ready. People like her don't vanish. They lurk. My pool's still my castle, and I'm the fire marshal who doesn't back down. So what do you think? Was I too harsh? Or did Linda deserve every bit of it? Should HOAs have any say over private property? Or are they just power-hungry clubs? And how far would you go to protect your home from a neighbor like her? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're team pool, and subscribe for more stories where petty tyrants get what's coming.